This week on the No More Late Fees podcast, we are joined by fellow Barbie enthusiast and fashion lover, Ashley Boyd. Hi,
Hi.
Ashley.
Hi, Danielle. Hi, Jackie. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
You have no idea. Let me just tell you something. I feel like you are a kindred spirit because the moment your mouth opened to start talking about Barbies, I said, do I like this girl for real, for real. I mean, I love all the content that you talk about. You're just a really good storyteller. Your content is just, you could tell that it's just off the cuff. Whatever you're thinking, and you're really funny. It's just like your personality altogether. Very fun to watch. And it feels like I'm listening to a friend kind of tell me a story, which is really cool.
Symptom of my mental illness and years of low-key not being the only child, but being the only child and talking to myself has made me entertaining. And I was a very unattractive child, so I was able to gain a personality.
Oh my God. Well, one of my good friends, Shayla, I was, telling her that you were going to be on the show, and she was like, oh my God, I love Ashley. I was like, I know, I send you all her videos. It's funny, we must have discovered you at the same time. And it's like, we don't know who introduced who to you. And it's just been a great time. And then I was like, and she wasn't nice. She wasn't mean to me when I sent you all those Barbie pictures, because you had done a deep dive because people don't know the Ken and Barbie breakup situation, and you were giving them history. So I was like, let me go get these pictures real quick.
No, it's really weird. The thing with me and Barbie is my parents are not fans of Barbie. I think they just were like, oh, she needs dolls. Cause I was really kind of rough and tumble, but they didn't like silly. My parents are not they don't like silly shit. They're like, I'm not giving you just we didn't get baby dolls and well, let's have baby and play house. It was no, if you're getting a Barbie, but she's a pilot, and she's got to be black. I wasn't allowed I was not allowed to have white dolls. And if I did have a white doll, she had to be unemployed, which led me to think that white women in general were unemployed. Because all of my friends' moms, I didn't know they had jobs, because they were just they had jobs, because I went to private school and my friends were white. And their moms, I just didn't know what their moms did, because their moms would be home in the afternoon. Some of them, I was like, your babysitter picks us up from school, but when we get home, your mom's there. So I was like, white women don't have jobs. And then when I the only white woman I know who had a job was my friend's mom, and she was an opera singer, but I was like, that's not a real job. So I was just like, oh, only women of color have jobs, because the Barbies was I had Malibu Barbie, but my Asian Barbie was a doctor, and my Latina Teresa was a veterinarian, and then the black one was a pilot, and I was like, the white one was Malibu Barbie. I was like, oh, white women don't have jobs. I was like, that's cool.
So I also subscribe to Black Barbies. I believe it's Mattel. It's a Mattel brand, but do you remember the Shawnee dolls? So they had a whole line of just black. They weren't Barbie, but they were Shawnee and her friends, right? And they came in 3 different hues of melanin, and they had crazy cool outfits and a gold Corvette they were styling. I
don't remember these.
Yeah, you gotta look into Shawnee. I was obsessed. So I had Shawnee, and then I had Black Ken. I had an MC Hammer doll, which I adored.
MC Hammer doll.
Yes, Hammer doll hurt me pants and everything. And I had 2 white Barbie dolls. I had a Barbie and a Ken. And I said to my mom later on in life, I'm like, you didn't think this was weird? You didn't say, Danielle, this ain't right. I made my white Barbies be the housekeepers, and they never had beds. I would just put them to the side. They were not a part of the rest of the Barbies.
I guess yours looked like you. So it was I thought white women didn't have jobs. You thought white women were housekeepers.
So I'm these were some questionable things happening as a child. And I mean, if it was reversed, if it was a white kid doing this would have been real problematic. But I guess my mom was like so pro-Black and teaching me things that it kind of, it's fine. It's fine. I apologize, Barbie and Ken, that y'all were outside.
They don't need to sleep in a tissue box bed.
No. I think my all my POC dolls lived in the house, and I think the white ones lived I had the Barbie camper. I had all the things. I had like the RV, and I had the house, and I had the car. I had the airplane. Oof. And I feel like the Malibu doll. I feel because they were at the beach, so they lived in the camper.
Yeah.
And everybody else lived in
sense.
They were living van life before van life. It's fine.
Yeah, they were my dolls are trendsetters.
We had the kitchen, and it took so long to set up that by the time you set up the kitchen with all of the tiny silverware and dishes and stuff, you were too tired to play Barbies. And then you would just like leave it in the middle of your room because you didn't want to pick it up because you just put it together.
Oh yeah, no. We didn't have things that had pieces like that.
Yeah. I had the little glassware sets. There was a furniture company that made Barbie size furniture that went out of business. And so I had to make a deal with my mom that said, give me this loan so I could invest in my portfolio of Barbie stuff. And I'll pay you back later. So we bought all of the furniture, and it had like all the little glass cups. And she would be nice enough. Like my mom was not with me making a huge mess, but when it came to Barbies, she would let me set up that Saturday because the setup was a long time. And she's like, okay, I won't touch it so that you can play all day on Sunday. Thanks, Christine. Really appreciate that. But how did you get into doing TikToks?
So I work my real job in real life. I work in like social media and influencers and new tech and innovations. So I have every app on my phone. Like my cousin got a spill code, and I was like, can you send me one? Because at some point somebody's going to ask me about it. Yeah. So I was on what is that one that nobody uses anymore? Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on that. That's just like part of my job. So like I was like, I had downloaded it, but I never made a profile. I was like, let me download this and see how this works. So when people ask me about it, I'm like, can speak knowledgeably.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, but I felt like you couldn't really understand how it worked by just like watching videos. I was like, well, I have to like make them. And so like, if I got bored, I would make a TikTok. And then I was like posting probably at like maybe, I think I've been doing it for maybe like a year. And I had like maybe 3,000 people following me for like on a regular, which was surprised the hell out of me. I was like, you care? I was like, people care about what I was saying? I was like, oh, I'm not talking about nothing. And then I made like the rush talk video, and I'd like all of a sudden like I went and I put it down because I made like in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I posted it. I was in the bed, so it had to be like 8:00 in the morning. I was like, and I went to like do something, and then at like 12, I was like, what the fuck happened? It's like maybe a 10-second video, and I was like, what? I've never seen as many. I was like, why do I have like 500 notifications? And it just like, and I was like, oh, I guess this is it now. And then like my family, not even my family found me, like people that my family knows found me.
Oh gosh.
And was like, sent my cousin the video and was like, oh my God, this girl's so funny. And then my cousin was like, that's actually. And I was like, yeah, people know me now.
That is like the scariest thing, that you think you're in a silo and only like a certain group of strangers are going to see you. My cousin screenshotted a picture of me. Some other page took a video that I did on TikTok and like shared it. And she was like, this you? I was like, what? No, that's not me. Never seen it before.
It's the weirdest thing. It's like, you don't, it's also, the ones that go popular are never the ones I put effort into.
Right.
It's never I look nice. It's always like I'm in my bed in a robe. I got like a do-rag on. Like I look crazy, or I'm just talking nonsense. It's a weird sensation to be like, you have maybe like a couple of videos that have like maybe like 100,000 views or something because you just got lucky or whatever, to go to like you post a video and like 2 million people saw it, and I'm just like, oh no, I have to keep doing this now because now it's weird. And it's like now, and it's weird to be like people, like it's weird to have people think that they're like like they know you for real. Like I was talking about this before, like I saw in like a 3-day span 2 people that I guess are like my mutuals or whatever in real life, and I was like, I want to say hi, but I was like, they don't know me for real. And then I was like, and it was like out of context, and it feels really weird to like go up to somebody and be like, hi, we follow each other on the internet. Because like I recognize you, but would you even recognize me out of context? It's weird because then it just like, it feels like, how do you like explain like how, like, oh hey, and they'd be like, oh hello, like why do you know my name?
That's how it feels when we invite people to be on the podcast, because like, especially if we, like with you, we're following you and it feels like I know so much, so it's exciting to have you on. Well, we do have a game to play. It's called Rank 'em. It's similar to how like on TikTok, we're going to give you random Cinderella movies from our time period, which is like 95 to 2005, and you're going to rank them in order of, let me just make sure. I think
if it's any of the animated sequels, they're all getting ranked simultaneously flat at the bottom. Because my God, those are the worst.
There's so many Disney movies that have sequels that I did not even realize. But
look, I have the DVDs for all 3 Aladdin movies.
But Return of Jafar? Was that the one
that was trash because Robin Williams was not in it, and the animation. Woo, the animation on some of these Disney sequels.
But Aladdin's dad was in that one, right?
No, that was Aladdin and the King of Thieves. That was the third one. When Robin Williams came back for that one. So it's an enjoyable watch.
He's fine as hell.
Oh.
He's zaddy status for real.
The gray.
All of it. I love it.
You just love a Disney daddy.
I do.
Because they only all have daddies.
King Triton, man. I'd be sweating him at the Disney World ride where you see his all jacked up abs. Hell yeah.
His weird nipples.
Yeah. Yes. He looks real creepy in the face, but that body? All right. What's going down there in the animatrix?
A genital free man.
So we have 1 through 6, 1 being the best, 6 being the worst. And Jackie's gonna throw them at you, see where you stand.
And it's blind, so as I tell you, you have to rank them without knowing what's coming.
Okay.
So our first one is A Cinderella Story.
The first one, right? Not like
with Hilary Duff.
Those are also horrible sequels. Don't make sequels to me. I want to say 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cinderella from 1997. Is that Brandy?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say 1 for the culture, but but Brandy is not even my favorite part of that.
Facts.
That movie. My favorite part is the Queen. My mom's obsessed with Bernadette Peters.
Yeah.
She passed that on to me. My favorite song is that Why Will I Never Want to Be Found? I love it. So I guess
Peters is great.
I guess 1.
Okay.
I'll say 1.
Okay. Next we have Ella Enchanted.
I did not like Ella Enchanted. Was that Cinderella?
It's like inspired by. It's a book, but it's based on Cinderella.
That might be my least favorite Anne Hathaway performance. How many are there?
6.
There's 6.
4.
Okay.
Cinderella 2.
That animated shit was, which one was it? That's going 6. I don't even remember which one, because I saw Cinderella 2 and I was like, this movie came out, is older than my mother. I don't know why we made this 40 years later. And then it was like, was that with the evil I saw, what was it? Stitch.
Oh, it was Anastasia, the stepsister, and I think like
she found like a man.
Yeah, or
Oh yeah, because the Stitch in Time or whatever
is when they time travel.
Awesome. My goddaughters had me like, actually watch Cinderella, and I was like, okay, and they put us, what the fuck is this? All those movies are bad.
Here's another animated one.
Yeah, here comes the next one. Happily Never After.
Is that the black one?
No.
There was like a series on
Oh yeah, I do.
A series on HBO that had like multicultural like fairy tales. Is that not what that is? What is Happily Never? I don't even know what that is.
Some sort of animated.
It sounds familiar, but I couldn't. I guess 5. I don't know what it is. It couldn't be worse than Cinderella too. So.
And our last movie, Ever After.
So I guess 2. I think I have spot number 2 left.
Yep. Not bad. I'm just glad that we didn't have to include the 2020 version that they did
I like the live action Cinderella. I don't appreciate the hate that
the one with wait.
The one with Bottom Carter and Kate Blanchett.
Oh
God, no, that's
what I'm talking about. The Cabela, whatever.
What even was that? I'm like, look, if you want to make modern Cinderella, make a modern Cinderella. I watched that. I was like, ooh, Billy. I was like, I don't give a shit about Camilla. I don't know who she is. All I know is Havana. So I was like, I watched this, and then I said, ooh, this is. I was like, even the babies got up and left. So I was like, I know this movie is bad, because the 2 of those nut jobs will sit down and watch anything, and they were like. I like the Lily James and Helena Bonham Carter.
And what's the guy from Game of Thrones is the prince?
Yeah.
Richard Maddox is
He has a weird filmography, that guy.
He does.
He was in some other movie that I was like, he's an agent.
He's so handsome. I just don't understand how he's not in more movies.
I feel because he's short.
Is he? They're all short. They're all short.
I feel like he's short and British and just like, I don't know. Some of these people just have bad agents. I feel like because I'm looking like you should be in more things.
Yeah.
And they're not.
He was in Rocket Man.
Yeah. He did a Netflix show, Bodyguard. He's on that. Is he in the Citadel? Is that the show?
That show lost them so much money, but
really?
Yeah, I think it got canceled because it was very expensive to make and no one watched it. But he's in like some other movie he's got a weird filmography. He's in like a rom-com that just didn't make any sense somewhere too. Or some low budget movie.
Oh yeah.
That's what he's in. And I was like,
why are you in this?
I'm like, Game of Thrones. I didn't watch it, but I was like, seems like it's a very popular show. And I feel like you could just write a check for what you wanted to do, like get cast anywhere. And it's this random Netflix movie. That movie just in general had the most random group of people in it. Yeah. I was like, these people don't even look like they would know each other in real life.
It was I like Netflix's just random rom-coms, like, because they're just easy watches. They're like not as lowbrow as the Hallmark movies.
Oh, don't get on my it's Christmas in July, okay?
Yeah, I like them, but it was also random to see him in it.
Yeah, they have the most random group of people in some of those movies. I'm like, I'm like, you know what? It's a check.
Yeah. Everybody got to do what they got to do. Well, so Jackie and I used to work at Blockbuster, and we used to be able to pick movies for the employee picks wall that we could recommend. So we're going to make you an honorary Blockbuster employee today and let you pick 3 movies from 1995 to 2005 that you would recommend. Now, if you can't think of anything off the top of your head, or you're not sure like what year it came out, just throw it out and we'll tell you if it's in that time frame.
Okay. Only because I just saw somebody talking about it and I just made a TikTok about it. My favorite like manic movie is Get Over It with like
oh my God, we love it.
We love Get Over It.
Kristen Dunst and Cisco.
We covered it last season and it was so unhinged. We actually had one of the actresses. You remember how Martin Short, there was a girl who played like his assistant?
Oh, she had like the little long crown.
Yeah.
That movie is so like, I had the bootleg copy of that movie that my mom got because she had like these students who and one of her students sold bootleg movies.
My dad used to get me bootleg movies. I used to rent movies out of my dorm and I called myself Blackbuster. So he would send me bootleg movies from New York and I'd be like, just in new releases, Bamboozled, Spike Lee joint.
Oh no, you said Bamboozled. I thought no, but what was the movie? It's Bedazzled. Yeah, I was thinking about that movie. I was like, what is that's the thing? I was like, what is it? But Brendan Fraser, I had like a good run.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me try to think about movies. Like looking at my shelf to see what I got on there. I'm trying to think. I really like Get Over It. Oh my God, I can't think of anything. I was really into like teen movies, like because I grew up in New York City. So like all those teen movies fascinated me. Because I'm like, I don't, it's like, what is a football team? Like, yeah, a football team. Like, I was like, my dream was to go to a mall. I was like, what mall? Like, you know, so it was always like little white teenagers running around a suburb, just being like in their cars and like this. I was like, y'all schools have parking lots? What's this mystical magical thing? But I was like a rom-com teen movie kind of person. Also, maybe like Waiting to Exhale.
That's a quality one.
I really like, wait, no, not Waiting to Exhale. Maybe Soul Food. Soul Food is I like messy movies. That movie was real messy.
Yeah. Especially since grandma was the real problem of that movie.
Justice for Vanessa Williams' character.
Terry deserved better.
Like justice for Terry and not Vanessa L. Williams. Straight Vanessa Williams. Yeah. Justice for Vanessa Williams' character. Because I was like,
how do you think that happened with getting Vanessa L. Williams to be on the Soul Food TV show? Like, were they purposely trying to confuse us?
I was like, who the hell is Vanessa L. Williams?
I remember her from Melrose Place.
Did she play Terry?
I don't know what role she played. I don't remember.
I don't remember watching the show. Was that on HBO or was it
was on Showtime? It was on Showtime.
Showtime. But no, that pissed me off. That whole Terry thing, that really pissed me off. But I'm trying to think, what else?
So you were saying teen movies. There's 10 Things I Hate About You. There's Save the Last Dance. There's She's All That.
Can't
Hardly Wait.
The Blues.
I've never
Bring
seen
It On.
City Blues.
You're not missing much.
Yeah. I just know you can't, some of my life.
I don't want your life.
Yeah, I don't want your life. And then the whipped cream thing, but then I just remember Chris Evans in Not Another Teen Movie doing the whipped cream thing, and I was like, what a career revolution.
I'm telling you right now, Danielle, when we do that movie, that is my background with his banana and his ass. That is my back.
That was definitely shaving cream. I'll tell you right now. Yeah. Whipped cream don't stay up like that. Yeah. So I hear.
It melts.
So I hear. Don't stay.
When did Batman Returns come out?
Batman Returns is 94, 92.
92.
Yeah. That was the best Batman movie.
It was.
So I'll pick George Clooney's nipples just for kicks.
Excellent. I love it.
Batman and Robin with Alicia Silverstone. Yeah.
I love how they kept changing Batman, but they kept the same Alfred for like every movie.
Yes.
And like we weren't supposed to like, what's this, James Bond? Like we were supposed to know he's a different person.
Love it.
Good. So why don't you tell everybody where they can find you on social?
I'm on TikTok and Instagram. And I think whatever that was, it Lemonade, but I don't really be on Lemonade. That was just like a panic move that everybody had. Smashly Boyd everywhere where, you know, your tickets are sold.
And don't forget, you guys can find us at No More Late Fees on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and the threads. And stay tuned for our Ever After episode with Ashley later this week.
And as always, be kind and rewind.